Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is American Idol.
Woo!
Isn't that how the thing went?
I don't think they said welcome, welcome, welcome.
No, I know that was us, but then I transitioned into
Yeah, that was good.
This is American Idol.
Yeah.
I'm joined by Miss Padman, Miss Monica Lily Padman.
Miss Paula Abdul.
Mm.
The Paula to your...
Am I the Simon in this mix?
Well, yeah, because Randy's Randy.
That's true. We're going to interview Randy Jackson. He's a world-renowned musician, a record producer, and an A&R executive, an author, a television producer, an entrepreneur, and founder of the Unify Health Labs. I came to love him on American Idol, For Me, For You, Dog. Say it all the time still. And he has a new show, a revamp of Name That Tune, which I absolutely loved the earlier iterations of. So see Randy on Fox's Name That Tune on Wednesdays at 9, 8 Central. Please enjoy.
Wait, I have to say something really important.
Yeah. How cute you thought he was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Randy is the cutest, best guest we've ever had.
Well,
He is a shiny light bulb.
he is. He's so positive and likable. It's insane.
I loved him.
Yeah. For Me, For You, Dog, I really liked him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you paused me to say that. Please enjoy. This is American Idol.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
Oh, we need something like this,
We
Monica.
do. I like the
I'm really
look of
jealous. Can you see what we got going on? It's really janky compared to your setup.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. There's a lot of really disturbing images behind you.
It's distracting, isn't it? There's some military hardware on a poster, but it's covered by a soundboard.
I'm getting very worried, man. I don't know. I got to check my pulse.
What part of town do you live in, Randy?
I live over here in the Hollywood Hills, but the studio's right down here in Hollywood.
Where you're shooting Name That Tune?
No, Name
No.
That Tune we shot in Australia
Get the
Ooh.
fuck
because of
out of here.
COVID. Yeah, bro, you should have come over, man.
Oh, I want to. We have a colleague we work with who's in New Zealand. And every time we FaceTime him, he's strolling down the street, no mask. He's on dates. He goes to the movies. It's like a superpower.
Well, listen, we had to do 2 weeks of hardcore quarantine where you couldn't leave your hotel room. I mean, this is serious. Guards at your door. They're checking COVID every 2 days. They come with hazmat suits. And you can't leave your room.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Whoa.
I mean, if we did this in America, maybe it might work. You know what I mean?
Now, let me ask you, for someone who works as much as you do, having that 2 weeks imprisonment in the hotel, was it kind of dreamy? Did you recharge? I feel like this may have added a year to your life and you didn't even know it.
You know what, Dax, man? I feel like, I had to check in with myself and I thought, where am I? Am I here now? What do I want to do? What do I want to see in life? Today is the first day of the rest of my life, Dax.
I believe
what am I doing with my life? Am I happy with who and where I am?
Yeah.
Deep thoughts. It gave me deep thoughts, dude. I had to go inward, man. You know, the kind of stuff you and Monica be doing, always going in.
Mhm.
I must say, it's the only way we could have shot this show with live audience, live band. It's the only way we could have done it. Name That Tune is back, Dax.
Yes, it is. Now, I watched the teaser for it, and how the fuck are people getting a song from one note? Honest
What's
to God.
the premise? Okay, tell
right,
us the premise.
Yeah, so Monica's only 33. So there was a very famous show, Name That Tune, and you'd hear a portion of the song and you'd have to guess it,
Oh.
or right, Randy?
Monica, Dax, and I are only a couple of years older than you,
Oh,
so
I
don't
know.
front.
You look.
Stop
you
fronting,
guys-
Monica. Stop fronting on
Don't step to these young bucks.
Exactly. Well, listen, you're talking about the bitter note, the iconic bitter note round. So Name That Tune is back, a show from the 50s, 60s that was just the iconic music guessing game show. So we got the opening rounds like, the spin me round, which we spin the wheel to pick categories, mixtape. We do a bunch of stuff like that. Then we get into bitter note. Like Dax would say, I could name that song in 7 notes. Monica, you say I could name it in 5.
Whoa.
Then we get to the golden medley, which is the final round, which you hear this song, you got to name it, but you got 30 seconds to name 7 songs. So you really got to know the name exactly.
Really quick, I'm going to do an example for Monica. So, Monica, I'm going to predict it. You can get a song in 4 notes. And I don't know anything about music, Randy. Maybe there's more notes here, but just let's try it, okay?
Right.
Down, 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 down.
Can't touch this.
Or Super Freak, which sample can't touch this.
Tricky.
It gets tricky probably.
Also, I'm the worst to play this game. I'm really
Well,
not
I thought it
good
was
at this.
Super Freak. I thought it was Super Freak, and it was. But see, here's the deal. You got to know the name exactly.
Oh.
It can't be you're a super freak, I'm a super freak. It's got to be the name exactly.
Oh, God.
Like, I'll show you how I would have failed that. Randy, hit me with those 4 notes.
Da-da-da-da.
The kind you don't take home to mother.
Oh, you would just. Oh, wow. Oh, boy.
He went to the Magic Mike version of it. That's the thing. That's what makes it so fun.
Yeah, the best part is a lot of times when you're watching a game show, you don't get sucked in all that much because they're like in this crazy world, shit's flying around, buzzers, blah, blah, blah. But that thing, that very simple thing of hearing a little bit of a song and being with other people and everyone trying to get it, I feel like you would get sucked in really easy just watching it. Like it would feel very participatory.
People at home, whether you realize it or not, you're playing along because you're trying to guess what song it is too.
Yeah. Now, Jane Krakowski, she hosts it and you are the musical director.
Band leader, musical director, side banana.
Whatever title you want, I'm going to give you. CEO of music.
How about God?
Music God. Music God. I hosted a game show for Fox last year. By the way, Rob Wade, wonderful guy. Let's just give him a shout out.
Yes, I remember that show.
We love Rob Wade. I hope you repurposed our wheel in your show because it was expensive. I would go on this emotional journey with these people, right? Where they're either going to win a ton or they're going to lose a ton. And it was emotionally quite taxing. And I wonder if you being more on that piano, are you protected at all or do you go on the journey too?
Jane and I went on all the journeys, Dax, as you know, because you see people play this and they get so close and you want them to win so bad.
Yeah, it's not our money, right?
Yeah, it's not my money. It's not your money. You want them to get it. It's not Monica's money. So you're like, come on, guys, you're so close. And so when somebody would win, oh my God, Jane was crying. We're just all emotional because you pull for these guys and you see what it can mean to their life, how it could change their life. Somebody works as a clerk somewhere and they're only making X amount of dollars a year, and this could be more money than they'll make in 2 years.
Yeah. And
Wow.
people could own a home, right? They could like start a home.
Dude, you got the $100,000 grand prize. You can win money in the other rounds. It's crazy, man.
I had to fight the urge to offer them my paycheck. I remember pulling the producer aside and being like, let's go in on something here. This was heartbreaking. Let's see if we can put a little safety net under.
Oh my God, bro. That's funny though, but that's the way Jane and I felt.
Yeah. So, Randy, you grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Dirty, dirty South, man. Come on, Dax. Where you from, man?
Well, I'm from Detroit, so
I'm from the dirty South.
you're from stanky Atlanta. Ooh, they put some stink on it there.
Yo, ATL, look at you.
Yeah.
You could tell that, right? Looking at her, you could feel the rhythm.
Yeah, I could see that ATL right in her.
That hot Atlanta's just pouring out of every pore. But Randy, you know, I'm midway between you and Monica, and it hits me all at once. Like, holy shit, I talked on an old clunky phone and I fucking dialed it by rotating this thing and it took 6 minutes to make a phone call. Like, wow, a lot's happened in my life, right? Or the words that people just said out loud everywhere I went, on the playground, what you called people. It's evolved so much. And when I think about you being born in Baton Rouge in 56, like you being a child in the 60s in the deep South, certainly you've witnessed an insane amount of change. Is that accurate?
Dude, so much change. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day. My friend was asking me, so what do you think were the biggest changes of you now and then? I said, bro, I was eating everything fried, sugar, dusted in salt, Tabasco like crazy. We never trusted a skinny chef. Now, I've started my own healthcare line, Unify Health Labs, with vitamins and stuff. Like, I've lost all this weight and got my body together. And people go like, well, you used to eat like that? Yes, but I mean, I didn't know anything, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that I didn't know that I didn't know. Down there, they go, boy, you got that big belly. You know, you must be eating good. And I'm like, yeah, man. You done made it, Dax. You got that big belly. You drink a lot of beer, huh? Yeah, yeah. So now I'm in California. I'm on this crazy health thing. I got vitamins. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a different life.
Well, it's like you've lived different iterations of a life. But I guess what I was more referencing is when I see these black and white news footage videos of people spraying black people with fire hoses.
Oh, yeah.
That was mid-'60s in Louisiana. I guess that's what I'm saying is you were a little boy and that was the climate.
You know, it was so crazy. I don't remember it that well because I was young. I remember seeing all of this stuff and living through a lot of it and seeing the changes that it made. The more vivid memory I had as I was a kid, but seeing how Woodstock transformed that then young youth to take over America, to burn money, burn flags, burn bras, saying music is free, we're free, I don't care if we're all pumped up on drugs. This is the world we want to see and we want to live in. So I see that now when you see the marches, you see Black Lives Matter, you see how much it means to millennials, how much it means to people that are woke and saying, we ain't having this no more, man. We need something else. We're demanding change. So I was a part of that. You know, seeing H. Rap Brown, who was this black militant leader, see him fight the KKK. I mean, you know, all of that. What it reminded you of what we've gone through the last year or so in this country. We've come far, but we still got a long-ass way to go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's just keep it real.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, it's misleading because there's so many layers of the oppression that it feels like, I've said this on here many times, like I grew up learning, there was slavery, that was abhorrent, what a terrible thing. But then old Abe Lincoln came through and we're good, no slaves, we fixed that. And then I come to learn about the suppression of vote, the segregation, the Jim Crow, and you go, oh, wow. Okay, so only one little element of it changed and there's all this other stuff. And then you clean up some of that, but then you're like, oh no, man, still no generation of wealth, redlining. There's so much. And there's no slapping each other on the back yet. But again, big strides since you've been alive.
Oh yeah, you know, as they say in the South, which I'm sure probably Monica heard this in ATL, I don't know. Because look, a lot of this that we're going through is about fear, right? Fear of the person of the other color, fear of the person I don't know, fear of everything. The saying in the South, the old South, the more things change, the more they should stay the same. That makes absolutely no sense. So
if ever there was a paradox,
it wasn't good before, so why is it going to be good now? What are you talking about? Things were never great. They're getting better, but they were never great. So, you know, people are just afraid of change, you know what I mean?
Sorry, I don't know if you heard that, Daddy, but my 7-year-old decided she was going to get involved.
That made my day. That made my day. See, listen, we're keeping it real with Dax and Monica, y'all. We got kids coming in and out. Daddy's in the house. Hello, Daddy.
If you think we're on the penthouse floor somewhere, well, you just found out we're not.
No. I'm saying, are you my daddy?
So what age did you start playing bass and why that instrument?
I actually started playing drums first because my brother's a drummer. And I started playing guitar. Then I started playing bass. Then I started playing saxophone and piano. Then I went back to bass. But, you know, the bass just spoke to me. You know, bass is the real final frontier. You know, the bottom rules forever, Dax. You know that being from Detroit, man. With all that Motor City Motown-ness, man. Come on, man.
Absolutely. Now, that role, the bass player, generally speaking, you got to be the most eccentric member of the whole fucking band, right? Like, there's a great history of those guys just being the most out there dudes in the band.
Of course, man. We're living our best life, as Oprah says. Come on, Dax, me and you. Yo.
So I hope that this shocks you. Fingers crossed. As I learned about you today, I learned that you potentially played on one of my favorite songs of all time. And I don't think you would have ever guessed this is one of my favorite songs. But Elephants in Love, Jean-Luc Ponty, off of Fables. Were you on
God,
that?
Look at you. Wow. Dax, you go deep, brother. I had no idea. I knew you went to UCLA and you graduated with honors, but yo.
My dad loved Jean-Luc Ponty, and I grew up listening to it. And Elephants in Love still in my top 4 songs of all time. And then I saw that you were on 3 Jean-Luc Ponty albums early in your career.
Yeah, I love Jean-Luc, man. I mean, I started being in bands and all that kind of Hendrix Zeppelin kind of stuff, but then, doing the funk thing with James Brown kind of bands. But then I really delved deeper into jazz fusion, which to me is the ultimate expression for a musician. It's such a high degree of difficulty. It's like the Olympics of music, I call it, because you got to be able to improvise, you got to be able to read, you got to be able to play anything, multi-rhythm, multi-time signatures. It's the ultimate primo musician. This is why all the jazz guys, including John Coltrane, who became the greatest mentor to me ever, because this guy was ridiculous, all studied all of the Indian rhythms and ragas and modes, because the degree of difficulty. And so Jean-Luc was in Mahavishnu Orchestra with John McLaughlin, who later had Shakti, this group that he had, El Shankar and all these guys. He was just the ultimate musician. So it was a dream of mine to go to the highest level, go there, try and throw down with the best of them. I was very fortunate to be there.
I want to plead a little defense for jazz fusion, because I think what happens, like when I tell people I love Stanley Clarke or I love Pat Metheny or I love all these folks,
Right.
It's unfortunately colored by adult contemporary, right? It's got,
Yes, unfortunately.
you say some of the best musicianship of all time. There's this element of improv, but the production value is off the charts. It's like laser beam focused with every other element that's ever existed in jazz. And then the product is just like, it's laser focused.
Yeah, I mean, it gets a bad rap. Once again, most things in life, if you look at them, it's out of fear. These are so many notes, so many polyrhythms, so complex. I don't understand it. It makes me scared. Can I just go back to listening to some simple pop song that's 2 chords at best with a melody that's 4 notes? Because this I know. So the fear of that I don't understand it, or it makes me not cool because I don't understand, or it makes me scared because I don't understand, if they would just embrace it. But I think part of the problem with that is, I think it's also the labels and how people have treated it throughout time. Miles Davis was a rock star because he gave you the rock star vibe. He gave you the outfits, the clothing. He was cool. He was bigger than life. He's hanging out with supermodels, and he was everything that a Bowie or a Hendrix or
Jimi Hendrix on the trumpet. I mean, he was like a sex
Exactly.
machine. Yeah.
Exactly. But he's also the guy that started bebop. He transformed it. Now, what has happened, a lot of the jazz fusion guys, though, they themselves are great musicians, but not stars.
Yeah.
So they're wearing the button-up suit, look like they work at the bank, or like, you're an insurance guy or some shit. I don't even know what's going on. Let me put on a suit. Whoa, that's going to make you a star. Whoa, I've never seen somebody wear a suit before. So Miles transcended that. So I think the guys have done this to themselves as well.
Uh-huh. So I'm going to do one more nerdy thing, and Monica will probably cut all this out because it'll be boring to everybody. But one guy I thought was going to break through in that Miles way, that Jimi Hendrix way, is someone you worked with whom I love, and I've had him on, is Van Hunt.
Oh, we love Van Hunt.
We love Van, man. Atlanta.
He had that sexual power, was just in every song. He just woke your groin up in a way that some of the greats have.
Van is so great. He's still great. Van, what's up if you're out there, man? Holla at us, dog. But, he's from Dayton, Ohio. He grew up like you grew up in Detroit, with all of that Motown, with all of the Shuggy Otis, with all of the Curtis Mayfields, the Marvin Gayes. He grew up with the greats. So when you grow up with those greats and you take it all in, like Prince took it all in, Michael took it all in. They took in James Brown. They took in Sly and the Family Stone. They took in Hendrix. They took the Isley Brothers. They took it all in. So when you take all of that in, as Van did, and then you write from the heart, oh my God. And I met Van because I'd signed this girl when I was doing A&R Columbia Records named Dion Ferris, who was in Arrested Development, speaking of Atlanta. I feel personally that me musically, a lot of contemporaries and my friends musically, those of us that are woke about all kinds of music and love everything and love music, it's our responsibility to push it and pay it forward. So Arrested Development was a forward-thinking group like Outkast, like Van Hunt, like all these things, saying, okay, where can I take it next from my experiences? Like probably Dax, what you and Monica doing with your podcast. So how can I enlighten people in a different way, take them somewhere that they haven't been, turn them on to things that they haven't experienced? What part of this can I do being a woke individual? You know what I'm saying? So Van, yo, man, hold it down. Let's get back in the lab, Van. Let's get cooked up, man.
I think we would do really good on a road trip together, you and I, Randy. Do you like Brand New Heavies?
Dude, come on. The girl from singing in there from New Orleans is my girl, and Dia Davenport. What are you talking about? Dude, I love these. These are my peeps. These are my peeps, dude. Dax, you know what we should do?
Huh.
Let's do a show, a road trip. You and I get on a bus.
Oh, I just got one. I just bought one.
Dude, let's take your bus out.
I'm in it, dude. I'm just looking for a road dog.
I got you, man. I got you, Dax. Come on, man. Randy and Dax take on Memphis.
I want to know a little bit more about the Randy Jackson story because it's pretty interesting, and I have some theories that I'm going to hit you with, and I want to see what you think. But you became a very in-demand, very accomplished studio musician in the 80s. I imagine you were in LA doing this?
Well, San Francisco, 80s and 90s, because, you know, I was living up in the Bay in Marin. I went up there to start this production company with Narda Michael Walden. And it's funny because he and I are now back. I'm back in Journey, and he's in Journey with me now, the Reformed Journey. And we started making all these records as jazz fusion guys. We met at a Chuck Mangione show at the Santa Monica Civic. And
Feel So Good?
Yeah, man, exactly. And from there, it just grew, and we started this production company trying to make urban records. And then our first big hit was Freeway of Love for the late, great Aretha Franklin, which brought Aretha back. Clive Davis, we happened on. Clive said, you guys did such a good job. I'm going to give you my next big talent. So we recorded a song called How Will I Know with the great Whitney Houston. So that started a whole cavalcade of things happening. And from there, I mean, you know, I was already doing sessions. I had a pickup band with the Santana guys and the Journey guys. You know, I had bands with the Grateful Dead guys. Listen, let me say something here. Let me put a caveat here. I was living a very different Randy life at that time with so many inebriants. I guess I didn't realize what was going on at the time, or even if I was really there half the time.
Sure.
But as I think back on it now, I'm like, yo, that was crazy. But maybe that's why I was doing so many inebriants, so I wouldn't know. So I don't know. I got clean and sober about 17 years ago. So,
you did? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was 16 years sober. I relapsed this year on opiates, but I'm back. So I'm with you. I've been on the journey for like 17 years myself.
Yeah, people helped me make a change.
What I notice about that, all that work you did, is that it doesn't seem like you had a singular goal. It seems like you had a love for all these things and you kind of let them take you wherever they took you. Is that fair to say?
Dude, you hit it on the head. Open to all the possibilities, not blocking any blessings, love music, just want to live my life through music, and love all kinds of music.
Yeah.
Bluegrass, country, Zydeco. I grew up with Zydeco.
Yeah, you're on a Charlie Daniels album.
I love Charlie. Dude, Charlie, listen, I mean, the late, great Clarence Gatemouth Brown and I toured when I was in his band. We toured with the Charlie Daniels Band.
That's Devil Came Down to Georgia.
We played a lot of shows. Kinky Friedman was on the bill. Talk about a wild guy. But Kinky was pushing the envelope. I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, God just loved music, right? You give me a great song, some great talents, some interesting, I love music.
Okay, this is the juicy part I want to know. When I look at the list, it's insane. You've listed a ton of them, but Bob Dylan's in there. This is what I immediately thought of. You've been in the studio 100 times with people who were young and at the peak of their powers, at the peak of their popularity. I have to imagine, just given what I've seen on movie sets, that you saw the most atrocious behavior conceivable. And you, at many times, were a role player. So it's like, you got to be sitting there with your bass, ready to be perfect when they say go. But now this singer, they may be fucking in the bathroom for 2.5 hours, and then they may come out and say, this all sucks. I don't want to do this. This isn't right. How did you have the patience for that? What was that like? Am I right about you've seen some crazy shit?
You're right about it. I've seen some wild insaneness, but that comes with making great art, right? Because the first thing that they say, oh, he or she must be just batshit crazy. But the art drives you to that because you have to be free enough to take it all in. That's why they need the inebriants, to get away from themselves, to escape. Like I remember Eddie Van Halen saying to me once, not so many years ago, God, I've never been in the studio or recorded anything not being high out of my mind.
Yeah.
It's a different experience.
Can I hit you with my theory on that? Because you would know better than anyone. To bring something completely new and novel to music, to anything, what it tells me is that you see the world differently than all of your peers and everyone else walking around on planet Earth. And so that's the great gift of it. But at the same time, that uniqueness is also isolating, and you don't see the world as all your peers. That's why you have this gift. And the discomfort of that, I think, is what many musicians throughout history have had to treat with substances.
Yeah, and you hit it on the head again, Dax. The truth also really is, and I say this to artists all the time because I manage artists, been an artist myself, got production companies, all this stuff, right? You have to be willing to go into the strongest wind against all the hate in the world, holding a cross that is struck by lightning nude. Are you able to do that and give zero, beyond zero fucks? Are you able to do that? Are you that one? Because Mick Jagger had to eat crap like hell before he made it. Mm-hmm. Jimi Hendrix had to go through hell. All the ones that you love, Bowie, in that time, are you kidding? To go through hell. Queen, all the things that you love, they had to go through hell. Don't forget, people hated them. Madonna, people hated her. She had to be so bold. That's why I give her all the props in the world. Anybody that's changed history and time, James Brown, I was watching I Got a Feeling last night on YouTube, him dancing and moving. You've never seen anything like that, but you can see how he greatly influenced Prince and Michael Jackson. Because the hair, the suits, the short suits, how they fit, how he moved with the mic. Dude, in order to be a winner, you got to go against all the hate in the world and say, look, I'm getting this. I don't care what comes before me. I don't care what they're saying. I'm winning. That takes a spirit. So I always say stars are born. They're not made. All these TV shows, including us on Idol, they're not made. They are born. You're born with that certain conviction. Like, you guys out there, me, Dax, and Monica, we're born with that conviction. We know we're G's up in this. You know what I'm saying? Dax is helping us realize it again today. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta have that thing against all odds. I'm winning.
Delusion.
Arrogance. Yeah. In my case, arrogance. Yeah.
Think about all the greats.
Yeah.
You gotta have it all. Think about sports athletes that people thought they'd never make it.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Well, I have to imagine that you witness this quite often. Super talented session musicians watching someone who musically is not that talented, but is a star, in the resentment that would create, and how you could probably take yourself out with all that resentment.
Dax, you in a band, you know this stuff too well, dude. What are you doing, dog? What are you doing, Dax? What are you doing? Let's get on that bus, man.
No, I've been in casts.
Well, yeah. So the star beats everything. The star doesn't need to be the most talented. The star needs to be the most charismatic and the brightest star with the will of God. The star needs to be that one. The star's not always the most talented. Usually, if you look throughout history, you can find that in very small doses where the star ticks all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
You cut to the Mariah Careys, the Whitney Houstons,
Prince.
the Springsteen, the Prince, the Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
the Bowie. You cut to those, to the Zeppelins, but it's not that many of those. So people get it confused. They don't understand the star, but remember, the star knows that they're always going to be hated on. That fuels them even more.
Mm.
Hate me, I love it. I'm going to kill. I'm going to get it. You know what I'm saying? Use that as fuel.
You know, you just kept evolving to all these different levels. Like you're a band director for the tour of Mariah. You're producing now, you know, you're writing, you're producing, you end up in A&R. So how did you avoid not thinking, oh, well, shit, these dumbasses are the ones that are getting this? What was your own little mantra that kept you so flexible and positive and not resentful?
Honestly, I think by the grace of God, I realized early on in my life sort of what my role was going to be, and I just started to more fulfill it than anything else. I realized I was a team player and a band guy. We all tried to be solo stars. I realized that's not what I really wanted, and I wasn't that, but I could be a great part of a great band in a great situation. And I also realized that maybe I had a little different vision to spot the star, accept the star, try and help the star blow up, because that's what a producer's supposed to do.
Yeah.
I realized what that was, and I just leaned into it, not thinking I need to be at the very front, but I can be at the front with the front guys.
But if you had to rank, if I said, Randy, I'm going to give you 2 hours before you die to do any one of the 26 jobs you do, what one are you doing? Are you going on stage with your bass?
Of course.
Okay. Okay,
course.
good.
Taking the music to the people and seeing the people.
Yeah.
It's great to play those small clubs so you can look in the faces of people, see how and if the music's affecting them and what you're doing. Because one of my greatest times in life is being in Journey back in the day and being on stage at a festival, and there's 150,000 people, and every person in the crowd singing the lyrics to that song.
Crazy.
Mm.
I go, thank you, God, I finally made it, because you took the time to learn every lyric, every nuance. This music meant that much to you. This is the reason we all do it. So to get that back from the people, not from the critics, not from the sales, not from any of that, directly from the people, means you've touched people. You've really done what it's about. You know what I mean? You've helped somebody's life. They love that lyric so much. They identify with it so much that they took the time to completely ingest it and remember it. Whoa.
Yeah, and you're doing virtually a synchronized dance with 150,000 people. Like the symmetry of that has got to be electric.
It is crazy, bro. And like, I remember I had tears streaming down my face, and I was like, wow, this is it. This is what it's all about. So to get that rush and that high, dude, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So this is what drives these people to do it. So when a lot of stars that are the sincere ones, because there's a lot of ones that are not sincere too, like anything else, but to get that sincerity where they say the fans is what drives them, that's really the truth. Because you can only buy so much stuff. You can only make and spend so much money. You can only love so many different people.
Yeah.
But that thing that you get from that crowd, that you go, this is why I'm really here. Because, you know, what's your purpose as an artist? What's the purpose? Music is to soothe the savages in all of us.
Yeah, that moment is dead pure, and then everything that's built off of it is questionable. That moment
Well,
is
yeah.
like, yeah. Now, another interesting career turn for you, or just jog in the road, is becoming an A&R person at both Columbia and MCA. And I wondered, what got you into that?
While I was in Journey and doing sessions up in the Bay, I had moved down to LA because I was doing a lot of sessions down here. I think within a 3-month span, I was working on, and I'm not just blowing names out, I was working on Dylan, Springsteen, Elton John, Billy Joel,
Oh my God.
Lionel Richie, and I became a session guy. You know, session guys show up at different studios, different sessions Sometimes you do 3, 4 a day, playing on whatever, and, you make it work. And I remember I said, I'm a band guy. I'm a guy from Louisiana. I thought I wanted to do this. This is not my soul, right? I mean, I can do it and I love it, and thank God I can do it. I'm so blessed. But I said to myself, I need to preserve my love for music. Somehow I got to figure this out. Because if I keep going like this, just going from session to session, I'm going to start not to love music as much as I do.
You're like the Maytag man, coming in, fix the dryer.
Right. What bass do you want me to play? There's 8 over there. You pick it, or whatever color. I mean, whatever. So I hated A&R people before this because I thought they were to blame for the good music and to blame for the 90% of the bad music, which is 10% good still on the radio and there's 90% bad, right? Still the A&R guys make these records, sign these people. I still don't like A&R people, and I was one.
Right.
So a buddy of mine was working at Columbia. He said, man, you should try A&R, man. Look, I'm trying to get more musicians in the game. And I thought to myself, wow, real musicians, record producers, songwriters doing A&R. Wow, maybe this is the way it started back in the day with the great guys that signed all the great stuff, because it sounds weird to me, but a musician that knows music, a writer, producer, doing A&R. No, it makes too much sense to be in the business. Oh, no. So I decided to jump in and do it. And I realized that these A&R people, still today, people can spot talent sometimes, but they don't know how to make it go.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be able to have the right phone book to hire the right people to know who to hire to make it go. So it's not just going on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or whatever social media thing of your choice. Oh, this person's talented. Do you know how to bring that to life? Whoa, that's the art.
Yeah.
So I learned where the community was faltering and where I could be of service and help. So that made me happy to know that I could actually help to build it and try and help it become realized. And that's how I got into it.
Yeah. And so you were doing that when Idol came around, yeah?
Yeah, but like everything else, I'd been doing that now for 13 years or so. I was getting burnt out on the A&R thing, because doing A&R, if you're doing it correctly, which I don't know how many people are doing it correctly. As I say, I don't know. I don't know what's going on now. It's a little foggy to me. I don't think things are going the right way. But anyway, you have to be able to future cast. If I sign you and Monica today, a year from now, which is early when that record comes out, I got to know if the marketplace is going to be able to bear what you're doing and what we're creating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got to set up marketing, promotion, publicity. I got to set it up. So this is why you see labels signing things from big Spotify numbers or any social numbers, because it's already made. So they're just putting their names on it, trying to get it higher. But they didn't have to start it from scratch. In my day, you got to start it from scratch.
Yeah, it's flipped, huh? So it's done like a 180.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's what it is.
Yeah. So when Idol came around, I'm curious, we could do 6 hours on Idol. We're not going to do that. We love Idol. That's where I came to know you. I just want to know your expectations versus what it was.
Well, when it came to Idol, what's really interesting is I was just about done with doing A&R. I saw the curvature of what was happening. We would put acts on TV, Mary J. Blige, Blink-182, when I was at MCA, which costs a lot to put acts on TV, more than people even think. And we saw not the sales spikes being the same numbers. So I saw that changing. The Lenos, the Lettermans were not the same. They weren't driving numbers anymore. So remember, as you study the marketplace, you see the curvature of what's happening. So the real leaders out there today are studying what's going to be next. What's after Spotify? What's after TikTok? What's coming next? So those are the real leaders, right? So I said, I'm a little bored with this. I think there's got to be a different way to break acts and do music. Agent friend of mine, Jeff Frasco at CAA, said, hey, Simon Fuller's got this crazy show in the UK. Your boy, another A&R guy, Simon Cowell's on it. It's funny. He said, would you ever entertain doing this show? I go, yeah, I don't know. Music shows on TV are like corny, because I do A&R. I'm cool, man.
Yeah, right.
Rock bands.
You got street cred, yeah.
Yeah, don't bust my cool with these corny shows. So I said, you know what? I watched it and I was laughing because Kyle was giving it to them between the teeth, like, you suck, this whole thing. And I was laughing because I knew him. So he came over and he and I sat at the Four Seasons up by the pool in LA here and talked about it. We were laughing, talked about what it could do on the A&R side, because he was an A&R guy in the UK. And you know what? I said to myself, I said, listen, I need to change anyway. I may as well take a leap of faith and see what happens. It's either going to win or lose, but I feel like it's the right way to go. You know, that real guttural, intuitive, instinctual thing. That's why I signed on.
It's one of the top 5 cultural phenomena in the last 20 years, right? I mean, there was a point where you guys are on and it's like, it's approaching Super Bowl number. It's just like the biggest show on TV by such a landslide where you just like, holy smokes, this is like nothing I've ever experienced.
You're right. We were getting 32 million people an episode twice a week. So 64 million people a week.
That's
insane. But
insane.
here's the thing that people don't know. It was TikTok before TikTok in an even better way, because you saw somebody perform, they built an audience that you could then track and go to and look at the followers. So you see somebody come on, they all of a sudden, they're in the top 10 on the show. They got 7 million followers. You can market and promote to them, and they can see you week in, week out as we try and tell the audience at home what's right with them, what's wrong with them, what they need to work on. So it was the A&R process completely unfolded. And what people still miss today, Dax and Monica, Kyle and I were A&R guys. We weren't just celebrities judging a show.
Yeah, right.
This is what we did for a living, like me doing A&R, being a musician, a producer, and a manager doing A&R. No, it makes too much sense. Being on a reality show about finding, discovering, and developing talent, being an A&R guy, makes too much sense.
Yeah.
So you see all these celebrities on these shows selling whatever. Love all of them. They're all my friends. I'm happy and proud. Great. They do an amazing job. But they're not A&R people.
Yeah.
So our hope was to find somebody that would still keep us cool and represent us and say, yo, we found this undiscovered talent, Kelly Clarkson, and she's blowing up, yo. So we still know what we're doing. We're just doing A&R on TV now. We're not just doing it and nothing happens to these people. Carrie Underwood became a superstar. Adam Lambert became Jennifer Hudson, Fantasia. These people became superstars.
You did too, though. I just want to say, like, I don't know, there's not been too many historic light switches that flipped as it did for you, right? I mean, you go from general anonymity to 35 million people know your full name. I mean, that's got to be crazy when you start walking around town and you're like, oh my goodness, well, 1 in 8 people know my name.
Yeah, dude, it was such a life change. But you know what? It happened for me later in life, so I could better deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
You weren't ready for that ever before.
I was ready for it, but I was on 25,000 inebriants.
That's what I'm saying. Had you been given the opportunity in the 80s, you would have fucked it up.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I was on stage with Journey, and I had a lot of fans and stuff, but it was in a different sort of cone. It wasn't this worldwide cone like that, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a trip, dude. It was a trip. But I mean, thank God we discovered some talent and it all worked. But you know, I laugh at when I see these shows sometimes because as an A&R person or a manager, or writer, or producer, when someone would walk through the door, 40 boxes would go down by their head, and Kyle and I were just ticking them off one by one. Eyes too close together, knock-kneed, shy, needs a hair makeover, needs a wig, needs their ears fixed. You know, like you just go. No, but I'm saying.
That's just how it was.
Yeah.
This is what you do.
Yeah. It might not be pretty, but it's.
As my friend Kenny Ortega, whom I met, people know it from High School Musical and Michael Jackson and everything else. Kenny Ortega's real. And he would always say, Bob Fosse said to him, if you don't walk in here with it, you ain't got it. So when Fosse would see dancers walk in, he'd go, leave. What do you mean I haven't danced? You ain't got it. You didn't walk in.
Whoa.
Man, cutthroat.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. There's a marketplace reality, and you guys were in charge of figuring out who would be selling in the marketplace.
And as true great A&R people, you're figuring out how to fix it, what needs to be fixed, They sing 4 or 5 notes. You go, good low register, high register shit, blah, 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 blah. Who do I call for the songs? Who do I call to produce it? You've already decided in your head the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so all you're doing is testing theories, ticking them off, saying, okay, that didn't work. Let me try this. That didn't work.
Or was there ever a time someone came in and you were like, there's no way, but then you were wrong? They sang, they blew you away, and then they won, or?
Very seldom, because, as I say, we were A&R guys. It's what we did for a living for years.
Yeah.
So sometimes you say, listen, Carrie Underwood, you're very shy. You just need to start to believe in yourself. You got this. So you can see the turn and you saying things to them. We would say things to them to try and get them, to give them the insight to see if they could turn it on themselves. That's part of the whole thing. But, you know, you knew she had that talent. You could hear from the first couple of notes. Monica, you could sing 2 notes to me right now and I go, yeah. Do it, Monica. Sing some notes right now, girl.
I'm never going to.
I've been
Live
trying to
your
make
best
her.
life, Monica.
I've been trying to make her sing on here for 3 years.
I won't
with
even sing
no-
for Dax. I'm definitely not singing for Randy Jackson.
And I would sing for an hour for you, and I can't sing, but I would love to.
Yeah, but Dax, we're going to fix you up on the bus, man. On tour with Dax and Randy.
There'll be one of those moments where, like, if I drop the mic, yet I keep singing, and we all realize it's on a CD. I have one other American Idol question, which is just, for me, who's pretty codependent, I don't really want to hurt anyone's feelings. It must have been so lovely to have Simon there, just knowing, like, well, he'll say everything fucking shitty, and then I can come in with some support and some rebuild. Was that beautiful cover fire to have?
Well, I tell you what's really funny about the show. Paula, whom I'd known forever, whom I love dearly. I didn't know Seacrest or Dunkelman, who started the first season with us. But the team that formed, unbeknownst to us, was the complete perfect mixture.
Yeah.
Paula had to be there to make me and Simon work. We had to be there to make her work, to make Ryan work. It was such the perfect storm none of us knew. Lightning just struck. We got incredibly lucky and incredibly blessed. So I see other shows try and copy that. You can't copy it. It has to be born of itself. It has to be natural. You can't force chemistry like that.
Yeah, and again, the geometry of it. Like, everyone's playing their own specific note and it's coming together. You can't really manufacture that.
It's funny, I'm thinking now, I learned this when I was making my vitamins. The first thing that we made this powder, this multi-GI5, I said, listen, I'm going to take it because if it ain't working for me, I don't want to sell it to nobody.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up. That's my last question for you. I'm curious what prompted you to really start focusing on your health, because it started apparently like in the first year of American Idol. And my theory was maybe this: if you're ambitious and you're a hustler and those things are being fulfilled, that you can be so focused on it that there's no space to even think about your health. Your priorities are just this hustle. And you don't ever stop and think like, well, great, if I get all this shit and I can't walk upstairs or I don't feel good, what's the point? Is that fair?
It's strange. Truthfully, what it was is that I was probably more depressed than I knew. I was living a sedentary lifestyle. And remember, emotions are the key to probably great life and managing them. So we eat our feelings. We exercise our feelings. Anything in excess that we're doing, running, sex, eating, shopping, anything in excess means that there's trouble brewing right there. So I developed type 2 diabetes. So I went and got gastric bypass because it helped me tremendously and helped me lose some weight. But I noticed after a couple of years, it started creeping back on because you don't just do the crazy surgery, lose the weight, and it just stays off forever. So I go, okay, I got to get it together. So all the nutritionists, all the doctors, everything people have been saying to me, I need to finally do that. What if they're right? No wonder they all say the same thing. Duh. It's another one of those duh moments. Like a musician doing A&R. Duh. An A&R person doing a judging talent show. Duh. Makes too much sense. You know, so you see, we got a theme going here, guys. So I said, okay, I looked at my countertop and I had 100 different bottles of vitamins. Anything you see on TV, somebody says, well, you need D3. Well, you need K1. Well, you need B1. I said to myself, I'm now confused. I'm so confused. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And if I'm in it and this is my life and I'm trying to live the best of it, these people probably don't know either. So that's what prompted me to get on this journey to try and figure it out. I went through dietitians. In fact, a nutritionist helped me tremendously. I had a bunch of team of doctors that I've seen for this Unify Health Labs. I just went in, man. I went in to try and solve my own puzzles, take it all myself for a year to make sure it did what I said it was going to do and help me, and then said, okay, cool. Because I didn't want to be those fake out, douchey guys or girls that are making the stuff, never using it. So that's what really got me to going, because I wanted to figure out a way to keep the weight off, eat healthy. That's why I laughed with my friend the other day when we're talking about eating in the South. The reference started at Mardi Gras time. There's this thing called the king cake. There's every sort of cake and pie in this cake. This is like the densest, thickest, sweetest cake ever made. And you're like, we're like, bro, remember when we used to eat that king cake? We get like a gallon of milk and just, like, you know, what the hell were we thinking? We didn't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't know. Again, the goals that we all generally have, they're not like, I want to feel the best. It's, I want to get this job. I want to make this money. I want to buy this car. I want to live in this house. And none of it's really like, how am I going to feel in any one of those situations?
And I'll tell you something else, just to go back to Idle for a second. And this also helped me to lead to my weight loss journey. Kyle and I would always say this: if you're going to dish it out, you got to be willing to get it back. That's why all of these other shows, everybody's so nice to the contestants. It just wasn't your day to day. Sam, sorry. Okay. We were like raw and honest. That's also what made it great. I'm going to tell you what I think is good. I'm going to tell you what I think is bad. I ain't rolling no punches here.
Yeah.
But we said, if you dish it out, you got to be willing to get it back. So if I say that was terrible and come at you with some kind of thing that I think is just being truthful, you might take it as an insult. So people will come onto the show and they'll go like, well, I think, what was the girl's name? Tamika, whatever her name was. She said, well, Randy, you're fat. I go, yeah, I got mirrors in my house. I know that. So, you know what I'm saying, though? But you know what I'm saying? That kind of guttural honesty.
Yeah.
Yo, you don't see that on TV today, man. You don't see that stuff.
Yeah.
People are afraid of that. Let me just sugarcoat everything.
Yeah.
So are we telling the truth? No wonder nobody from these shows are winning or doing anything with the rest of their lives. Nobody's being honest with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I cut you a little break on the king cake? Because
you love it.
Well, the more you ate of it, the more chance you were going to get the king. So you kind of had to eat as many pieces
You're
as
incentivized
possible.
to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but still.
That's a good point, Monica. By design, you're incentivized to
eat
find
the whole
that king.
cake and get the king.
Monica, you got to agree with me on something. The stores in the South, even the department stores, Publix in Atlanta or whatever.
Oh, Publix, yep.
You've never seen sweets like sweets there. Stuff out here is not as sweet.
Oh, for
No.
sure.
It is crazy. The fried, the salt. The reason we don't trust a skinny chef in Louisiana, you don't want to see condiments on the table. It means the chef didn't taste the food. That's what we do. You're supposed to taste this damn food before you serve it to me, knowing it's salty enough, hot enough. If you didn't do that, this is terrible food.
In fact, I wouldn't trust a restaurant where there was any food left. The chef should have eaten it all because it was so damn good. Every time you go in there, they should go, no, he ate it all again. I go, fuck, I'm going to eat here once. I bet it's incredible.
What I'm saying, man. Not this stuff out here in L.A. where people, you want no salt, no butter, no onions.
Well, everyone's leaving with to-go bags because no one could get through it.
Yeah.
I don't see any to-go bags in the South.
No.
Okay, so Randy, Name That Tune is out January 6th, 9 p.m. on Fox. We get to see you play, which is very exciting.
Yes.
And we get to see Jane interact with everyone. She's phenomenal. We're huge fans.
Jane is amazing.
I think this is going to be awesome for you, for Fox, and I'm so excited to see it. So I hope everyone checks it out January 6th on Fox at 9 p.m.
Well, listen, Dax.
Yeah.
You got to promise me one thing.
I can do it.
If we ever do a celeb version of
Uh-huh.
Name That Tune, you got to come on and play, dog. Come on, man.
Oh, absolutely. I give myself a 4 on the drums. I'm a 4 out of 10. So I can play. I can play.
I love that.
In fact, I know one I could do that would trigger someone. It's We're Not Gonna Take It. That drum beat is so
We're not
specific by
gonna
Twisted
take
Sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I hit people with just a few of that, we could get them there.
What is cha, boom, boom, cha, boom, boom, cha, boom, boom, cha, boom.
We're not
more like that.
gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. You think you
Go
can do
ahead,
something with that
man. Let's start the
auto-tune?
band.
Now it's Monica.
Monica, start the bus. Monica, start the bus.
Get it idling. Get everything up to temperature. Monica's driving and people are jumping out of the way. It could be exciting.
Yeah.
Randy, you've always been so sweet when I've bumped into you in real life. You walk the talk, and we thank you so much for being on. I hope everyone watches Name That Tune.
Thanks, brother.
All right, we'll see you. I'll bump into you, and then we'll do something that combines my automotive knowledge and your A&R knowledge, and we'll blow the lid off
Dude,
this
let's
thing.
go, Dax. Come on, man. I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
All right, be well. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Peace, guys.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman. I know you hate when I ask you who's attractive and stuff, and for good reason, but I don't think you would be hesitant to say cutest guest for you.
I love Randy.
You do. It was so fun watching you during the interview. You just had a glee.
He's so shiny and likable and positive, just lovely energy. I could not believe it.
A+ on the energy for Randy.
God, I really liked him.
Should we tell people really quick that I stupidly, well, the first time I saw the email that was like, hey, we're adding Randy Jackson to the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason in my head, I had filed that as we were interviewing Alan Jackson.
Country star.
Yeah, and so for like a week and a half, I was like, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. We laid rubber on the Georgia asphalt, got a little crazy, but we never got caught. And I was really prepared to talk to him about the hooch.
Yeah.
The hoocher from your home state.
My home state. Ding ding ding.
Ding,
what
ding,
a
ding.
week for my home state.
Big week for your home state.
Came through for me.
Came through down, rolled right down rolled right down the hooch.
That's right.
Right down the hoochie. Anyways, it
You know,
wasn't
my
Alan.
elementary school is called Chattahoochee Elementary.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I love that song.
But I was glad it was Randy.
Yeah. Well, I like both. And it's not like I was disappointed it was Randy. It just, what a mix up for me. When I looked at the schedule like 2 days before, I'm like, oh, I'm already set for this interview.
Yeah.
Way down yonder.
But that would have been the whole interview.
Yeah.
It seems like we dodged a bullet there.
I would have sang it to him 6 or 7 times. You would have poked your eyes out with a needle.
Speaking of singing, Randy wanted me to sing and I didn't do it.
You could be a star right now and you're not.
I
and
have
it's
some
your
regrets.
fault.
I do have
you
some
should.
regrets. Yeah, I regret that.
There hasn't been, to my knowledge, there hasn't been an Indian American pop star. You could like blaze a whole new trail.
Oh my God. You know what? That is definitely never a job I wanted.
Pop star.
Yeah, like, you know,
Dance
like
around
everyone like
sexy.
wants to be like a pop star, a rock star. And never for me.
Britney Spears.
Yeah, never for me.
Me neither. I don't know if it's that I never wanted to or I just knew immediately that wasn't a job for me. So I never even entertained the fantasy. So, like I can't sing.
Right.
So what am I going to
But in a band, though.
Well, I played drums in a band, but it was just about fucking around with my buddies. The band was named Cowbell.
Was Aaron in it?
Yeah, of course. He played the cowbell because he can't play an instrument.
Oh my God.
I mean, he since learned to play the drums, but at that time, he could only play the cowbell.
Who sang?
I think Aaron Tyrell.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a terrible band, but we had fun. We played a Metallica cover, For Whom the Bell Tolls, but we changed it to For Whom the Cowbell Tolls.
Oh my God.
We did one show. It was really fun.
And was all the songs about
Cowbell.
cowbell?
Yeah, we changed all of them to cowbell. Yeah. And this
Like
was before.
Ring My Cowbell?
Not that one, because that's a disco song, right?
Yeah, but you could have made it yours.
Ring my cow. Well, also, this was before the cowbell sketch. I want to be very clear.
What's that?
The famous cowbell sketch from Will Ferrell on Saturday Night Live. You know what this song needs? More cowbell. And it's it's a very famous sketch.
Oh.
You would know it if you saw it. And every time he hits a cowbell, his belly comes out of the bottom of his shirt more and more. Christopher Walken is the producer, and he keeps coming in. And he's like, you know what this song needs? More cowbell. And then they bring him back out, and then the whole song is just cowbell. It's one of the best sketches of all time. But our band Cowbell predated that sketch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think you influenced it?
Oh, and can I tell you what? We had merch.
You did?
It was a pentagram with Elsie the cow's face in the pentagram. So it looked like Slayer, but with Elsie the cow. And it was cowbell.
Goodness.
Really good merch.
Good merch.
Aaron Tyrell all the way. He was a genius at that stuff.
Aaron Tyrell is not best friend Aaron Weekly.
No, and in fact, I don't know if I've said it on here, but the group primarily was Aaron Weekly, Aaron Gowatch, and Aaron Tyrell. So obviously everyone there is just Weekly, Tyrell, Gowatch. No one gets called Aaron back in Michigan.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised the name of the band wasn't just Aaron.
Aaron's in a D.
Just Aaron.
But I was.
I know, but you'd have to sacrifice.
Oh, for the greater good of Aaron's?
Yeah.
Fuck them. I was already outnumbered 3-1. You should feel bad for me. The band should be called the Daxes.
Oh, God.
The Dax Bells.
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh.
Too bad, Randy.
Do you know who this impersonation is? Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh, Mickey.
Snoopy.
Goofy.
Oh.
He says gorsh instead of gosh.
That's good. That does sound like him.
Oh, gosh.
Ding, ding, ding. This is kind of like Name That Tune. But in this case, it's impressions.
Yeah, name that actor
Name,
or character.
Name that character.
Name that character.
Do another.
Okay, close your eyes. How's an asshole like mom get such a great
Owen
kitchen?
Wilson. But okay, you have to do different
I've been
ones
doing
than
one
the
that you haven't
normal.
heard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I went down to the park and cleaned it up Navy SEAL style. When I won the election, I proceeded to the hotel where I drank 4 bottles of Dom Perignon.
Not Trump.
No.
Kristen's dad?
No. Jesse Ventura.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah.
You're not well versed in
No,
Jesse
I'm
Ventura.
Sure not.
Okay.
I'm not good at this. Just like I would be very bad at Name That Tune.
Can we try one more just to see? If
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do one that's like generic that I don't do well, but that I think you would get.
Okay.
Let me think who that would be. What was it say? My hair.
Elvis?
No.
Okay.
I got moves. They're electrifying.
Yeah. I the
You
Grease
had it?
guy. John Travolta.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
My hair. Okay.
The
That was
Grease guy.
it was like a 40% good
That was good.
impersonation, but he's so distinct that you can get it.
Yeah, and the words you picked were helpful.
Yeah, we're dialogue cues. Yeah. So if you didn't get the impression, you'd get it from the dialogue.
Can you do a female one?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Drew Barrymore. Is that who was?
Oh,
gonna
I
be?
could do that one. Come here. Wait, what was the name of the whale? No, Biscuit the whale. Shit, if I can remember the name of the whale from the movie Kristen did with her.
Oh.
No. Don't go over there. No, I'm going to do another
Okay,
one.
yeah, do-
It's going to be hard, though, to not give it away with the words she uses. Okay. I can see. That's bad.
Oh, Sarah Palin.
Yeah. Oh, I can do Audrey Hepburn.
Okay.
Please support the animal shelter.
Don't stop.
That's how she sounded in those commercials. And then stand-up comedians would say she sounded like a car starting.
Wait, Audrey Hepburn?
Or Catherine, whoever did the SPCC commercials.
I never heard that. There's no way Audrey Hepburn sounded like that. She was like the most. She was like the most elegant woman alive.
Let's see if I can. Audrey Hepburn dog commercials. Please support. I'm going to do some further research. I don't want to eat up all of our time.
I don't think it's her.
Let me do Katharine Hepburn. Katharine Hepburn commercials.
13 million kids are dying year in and year out. 35,000 a day. That's terrifying.
Okay.
It's up to each of us to reach them before hunger and disease kills one another.
Yours is bad and offensive.
Smithers. Yours is bad and offensive.
my God.
Well, I'm not saying anything mean about her. I'm just saying this is the facts. This is what her voice sounds like. I have no judgment on it. It's a great voice. Obviously, it was in commercials.
Oh, wow. All right.
Okay. By the way, I think that was an easy example. Like, it got worse. Katharine Hepburn.
Oh, God.
commercials.
Okay.
Okay.
Enough.
Okay. I think there's one that really isolates what I was.
Terrible thing to say. It's not true. No, I found it fun. I find everything fun. When you open your door and you go out and they say, "Good morning, Miss Shepard. Good morning."
Oh, God.
Good morning.
All right,
Miss
all
Hepburn.
right.
Good morning.
That's
I have to really card my face because I got to put my teeth out when I do it. Good morning, Mrs. Hepburn. You got to admit I wasn't off on the impersonation.
You are. I mean, it's extreme.
Well, all impersonations are.
Okay, you're right.
Okay. Sorry, Mrs. Hepburn. Hepburn.
You're always saying, you're saying.
I want to put the R before.
Yeah,
Hepburn.
you do want to put it before.
Hepburn. That's a,
Hepburn.
yeah, Hepburn. It's a rough last name, too. But boy, they overcame it. They were both
Big
such
time.
beauties.
Big time.
Beautiful voices, too. What's your next fact?
Okay. Remember when I told you the part that's hard
Is when I won't stop.
Yeah.
You want me to do another one?
No.
No, a different one.
Okay, fine. One more.
Okay. Not gonna do it.
Ryan Hansen as David Spade as George Bush.
Not David Spade, is Dana Carvey. Ryan Hansen as David Carvey as George Bush
David
Sr.
Carvey. Oh, things are off the rails. Okay. So Randall.
Oh, that's me.
Randall. That's your middle name, in
Yeah.
case people don't know.
Randall Shepard. I would have a different career, don't you think? If I was Randall Shepard, I'd be more in like Westerns and stuff.
Yeah.
Put your hands together for Randall Shepard. And I ride in on a horse.
I could see that.
Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. All right.
But you would be putting that on because you're not a cowboy. So then it becomes like you're a kind of a Milli Vanilli, like you're living a fake life.
well, but
then
no.
what's real anymore?
Exactly. Like I've lived up to the name Dax. Like you named me Dax, so I had to act like this.
Right.
If you named me Randall, I probably would have been into roping.
This is why naming is so scary.
It is. If you name your kid Adolf, expect the worst.
Probably don't name them that.
Well, clearly, but expect the worst.
Yeah.
That's what's always rough in those Coors commercials. Like they try to give you the history of Coors. And it's like, our founding father, William Adolph Coors. And you're like, ooh, leave out the Adolf.
Yeah. It's hard to get past.
It was hard to get past Barack's middle name.
Oh.
Hussein.
No, that's why.
Because of fucking Saddam Hussein. Yeah. That was rough. One of the like world bad guys had his middle name.
Didn't bother me.
I mean, he overcame it, which is impressive.
Again, just like Catherine and
Yeah.
Aubrey.
They all have this in Aubrey Hepburn. Heprum.
Okay. Name that tune. He said 50s and 60s. Name that tune.
Oh, the original show.
1952. But there's been so many iterations of it.
I bet. It's a great concept.
It was on radio at first.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
My mother was 1 year old when that came out.
1952, December.
She was 1 year old and 3 months.
Wow.
I wonder if she remembers.
Let's ask.
Let's get her on the phone.
Isn't it so weird to think of your mom as a 1 year old?
It is, yeah. Yeah.
It's weird to think of your parents as babies.
I know. We were watching this show, I Hate Susie, and the lead has a child, you know, and it did make me think like, oh, all my peers as junior high students, they're just individual people, and then they become moms, but nothing magical happens. They're just the kid still.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's a dumb observation, but I was thinking about it a lot watching it. It's like your cool friend who's a parent is just still the cool friend, but then now they have this other role that's supposed to be done so well. But
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is there's no such thing as a mom or a dad. Does that point? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you don't go change your identity because you have a kid. people are people, but we look at moms and dads as if they're supposed to be this perfect thing. We would never think our friends should be perfect.
Right. You mean if you're a kid?
Yeah, like the concept of mom and dad
Yes, this is true.
are not human concepts. They're
Yeah.
like fairy tale concepts.
Yeah, they're supposed to be perfect.
And
yeah.
your dad's just a dude who palled around with some people, and then he had kids. Or the same guy.
My dad?
Yeah, Ashok.
He didn't. He's just always been a dad.
Ashok Randall Padman.
Okay. You said that spin the wheel was really expensive. Do you know how expensive it was?
I don't. Did you ask Andrew Glassman?
I don't know him. I don't know. I wanted to, but I don't know him.
You should host a game show for him.
I would love to.
Oh, you'd be great at it.
I
let's get that
think
on the
I would
books.
get too into it.
That's the dream.
Oh,
They want you to get too into it.
really?
Yeah, and you'd be a boss because you're so bossy.
Yeah.
And you get to shove everyone around. Go over here now. No, you're supposed to be doing this. Spin that thing, you know?
Oh, I would love to tell people to
Yes.
spin that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so TBD on how expensive the wheel is. Well, can you text him right now?
Sure. I wonder if he wants that info out there. But
Okay.
yeah, I'll ask him. I'll dictate live so you know the exact question. I love Andrew Glassman. He is such a sweet, maybe the best boss I ever had. Hi, sweet friend, comma. Feel free to not give me this information, comma, but I'm in the middle of a fact check and I told Randy Jackson that our wheel cost a fortune, comma, pun intended, period. Am I allowed to know how much that fucker cost to construct? Question mark.
I hope he's quick response.
He will be.
Okay, well, we'll keep going while we wait to hear.
Yeah, please hold while I connect that call. But in the meantime, I got another one I can do for you if you want to close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay. I knew this farmer, Dave. He had a pig. He used to go over to this guy's house, and sometimes he'd be playing with the pig. And, well, Dave.
Jay Leno.
It does sound a lot like Jay Leno. It's Norm Macdonald.
I
I
would
sometimes
I
do a
don't
better.
know.
Oh, I sometimes do a better Norm Macdonald. That wasn't very good. All right, now close your eyes.
Okay.
Welcome to the Tonight Show. Come look at my cars. I got a lot of cars.
Okay.
Say Mike Tyson.
Oh, gosh. No. I'm putting an end to this.
Okay. I've got a response from Andrew Glassman. By the team that built the London Eye, it was more than $1 million.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow. It was huge.
It was 4 or 5 stories. There was only 2 sound stages in all of LA that could accommodate this wheel.
That's crazy.
And luckily, it was at my favorite one.
Yeah, the closest one to your house.
Yeah.
Well, one of. So you said the Idol was one of the top 5 cultural phenomenons. So I just thought it would be interesting to see what people thought were the top pop culture moments of the past decade, since now we're in a new decade.
Okay.
Okay, in 2010, Lady Gaga wears a dress made of meat at the MTV Video Music Awards.
Very memorable.
Very. 2010 to 2019, Beyonce becomes Beyonce. That's interesting.
Yeah. This feels like a very arbitrary list, but please continue.
It's from Forbes.
Oh, okay. Well,
2011, Game of Thrones premieres on HBO.
I'd go with that.
Okay.
I can get behind it.
Oh, this one for sure. 2011, Prince William and Kate Middleton get married. Royals, the crown.
Ding, ding, ding.
2011, 50 Shades of Grey is released. That was a big pop culture. Oh, 2011, Harry Potter ends.
Oh. Man. You haven't been happy since, have you?
No.
10 years.
Oh, this 2012 Girls premieres on HBO.
Hmm.
Okay. 2013 Netflix releases House of Cards.
Uh-oh.
2013 Prince George is born.
Nope.
I mean,
These aren't real.
2013 Miley Cyrus twerks on stage with Robin Thicke at the 2013 MTV Music Awards. That was
memorable.
Video Music Awards. Oh, 2014 Ellen DeGeneres takes an epic Oscar selfie.
Oh, right.
I remember that. That was a big deal. Are you in it?
I think I was there.
This is the picture.
Cooper's in it? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's-
was there. That's the night that Brad Pitt told me he liked Hit and Run.
Brad is in this picture. It has Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, Julia Roberts, Brad Pitt, Kevin Spacey.
Uh-oh. Oopsies.
And some people I can't Lupita
Harvey
Nyong'o.
Harvey Weinstein.
I don't think so, but that's definitely in here. Although I guess it wouldn't be pop culture, but 2014 Serial debuts as a podcast.
Oh, that's how our friendship really took hold.
2014 Kim Kardashian appears on the cover of Paper. Do you remember this?
Oh, sure.
It does
I know
look
that
familiar.
image. Yeah, really oiled up.
Ooh, 2015 Hamilton opens on Broadway.
Oh,
That's
sure.
a good one.
Memorable.
2015 Bruce Jenner comes out as Caitlyn Jenner on the cover of Vanity Fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
2016 Leonardo DiCaprio wins an Oscar. Okay, that's
cool. He deserves it, but
Right. But is that a whatever?
I don't.
2017 Donald Trump becomes a president of the United States. Yeah.
He did?
I don't remember that. 2017 La La Land / Moonlight Oscar mishap.
No.
That was kind of memorable, but
I mean, that's
Yeah,
that doesn't
it's a
belong on
stretch.
there. Yeah.
2017 Harvey Weinstein is accused of sexual abuse by multiple women.
There we go.
There it is.
There it is.
2018 Prince Harry and Meghan Markle get married.
my
The
God.
Crown Royals. Ding, ding,
Is
ding.
that the fourth thing about the royal family on this list?
2018 Kim Kardashian and Kanye West visit the White House separately.
Okay, so that's two. They have two. Now there's a race between the royals and Kardashian.
Ooh. No, will we include Caitlyn Jenner?
Oh, yeah.
Then they're
absolutely.
tied. Then they're tied.
We got a two-way tie. The Kardashian family versus the royal family.
That's right. 2019 college admission scandal.
Oh, that was hot.
That was hot. Ooh. 2010 to 2019 celebrity deaths.
Let's
I'm
skip
not
that.
crazy
Am I on
about
there?
that. Oh, that's all. I guess the crown and the crown are tied.
I guess so.
There's something kind of poetic about that. The
Oh,
Kardashians are our royals in some way.
Yeah, I'm not even going to expound on it, the similarities, but I could.
Yeah.
But I understand from Kristen that Kim is a really nice person who is sincerely dedicated to prison reform and exonerating wrongly convicted criminals.
Yes.
And I think Kristen wanted to implore her to help on something, and I guess she got back to her in like 2 seconds and really helped.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
Yeah, so I can't really say anything.
No. By the way, obviously, I love the royals. I love the crown. I'm not making a bad parallel, but I am making one that we've heightened people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian on Letterman's show is a really good interview.
I got to watch that.
I really enjoyed
I'll
it.
see you in, how long is it? I'll be right back.
An hour.
Okay.
Okay, Dax is back.
Ah, we're back. That was great. Great rack.
Thank you. Thank you. Anywho, that's all.
Well, that was great.
We learned a lot.
We learned a lot, and I don't agree with much of what we learned. Surprise. Ding, ding, ding. All right. Love you.
Love you.